guidelines. So seeing this, Twitter was over.
yo, oh, this is it. This is what I want to happen, dude. Well, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be checking out the lore and mistake of Peta or Peta, or I don't really know what the fuck to call them, but yeah, we're going to be checking out this video made by Musume, which by the way, big shout outs to bro. And yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it.
Typically, when you see someone abuse a pet or animal on the internet, then chances are you'll...
Yo, Loki, I believe it was last month that this whole freaking news of Hassan has just been going insane, dude. Like, the amount of flames that bro was catching, he was fucking catching that shit from everybody, man. Which, Loki, I cannot even blame everybody. Because, like, the shit that bro was pulling, nah, dude, just nah.
Probably see someone in the comments somewhere saying, call PETA. In fact, one could even argue that this has been a thing on the internet.
Oh, also, quick little note, but, like, up until now, I have never heard of PETA. I don't really know what the fuck they do or anything like that. But recently, I have been like hearing a good amount of my people kind of like talk about them messing with Musume. So I just kind of like I saw this shit on YouTube, like this video on YouTube, and I thought like I kind of like react to it or so. But yeah, man.
Long as we can remember. But what is PETA anyway? Well, it stands for People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. What a wonderful name for an organization. Okay, well, what do they fight for? Animal rights? That's awesome. Well, not quite. Here's how they describe their own mission on their website. Animals are not ours to experiment on, eat, wear, use for entertainment, or abuse in any other way.
Oh, no,
okay?
No shit.
Kind of extremist, right? The idea that
But like, yeah, this part it is kind of extreme, man.
One's allowed to eat animals. That's definitely
like abuse, definitely, sure. Like we should not be fucking abusing them and shit. But like these, I don't know, man.
But most people can definitely agree with the other parts. But how is it that an organization like this managed to make so many generations of people be aware of its existence? How does it have such a monopoly over the topic of animal rights? Well, it's actually all thanks to their marketing strategy. You see, ever since PETA was created in the 1980s, they knew that people had bigger worries than wondering where animals came from and how they were processed in factories. So to truly get their message across, their strategy has always been to grab headlines by any means necessary. For decades, PETA would be synonymous with ridiculous marketing campaigns.
Brother. Like, this is the kind of fucking mindset that just fucking boggles me, man. And yes, I do meet people like this, dude, because like I kind of like work in a restaurant and so like, for example, I get people like asking for food that they know they have an allergy of, and yet they still fucking order the same shit. Like, why, dude? Why?
This right here is one of the most famous examples. A group of naked women laying in coffins in public saying they'd rather be caught dead than wear animal fur. Things like this became an important part of PETA's DNA, and it would help them spread awareness about their cause and their organization to multiple generations. But that's, of course, until Gen Z came along. A generation that kind of grew up understanding what they were, but by the time they became adults, became so desensitized by the internet that nothing really shocked them anymore. PETA had...
I'd say there's still gonna be some exception to that, but
used the
mostly
same strategy for decades now, shock and boldness. The problem with the strategy, though, is that over time, for it to remain effective, every campaign you make has to be more shocking than the previous one. And more importantly, the line between bull chalk and rage bait is extremely thin. And for years now, PETA has been absolutely clueless about the fact that they had crossed it.
What the fuck? This one is kind of low-key funny, though. This one is kind of low-key funny.
A while ago, they had essentially gone from very bold marketing campaigns that no one had ever done before to now posting an AI-generated image of a fish being cut into sushi, calling it artistic rendering, and being community noted. That's just plain embarrassing. For years now, this has been PETA's reality. They're nothing more than just rage baiters, and they fail to see that. They've completely lost the
Okay.
plot.
The thing with that is like, yes, I do understand to some point, to some degree, that rage baiting is one of the easiest ways to like catch people's attentions, but at the same time, is it worth it? Cause I don't know, man.
And speaking of losing the plot, it turns out that PETA actually enjoys killing animals more than rescuing them. After numerous investigations spanning across multiple years, many have been able to conclude that PETA enjoys killing animals way more than just putting them up for adoption and finding them
Yeah,
a new
dude,
loving
what the
home.
fuck?
Why? Because they believe owning a pet dog is slavery. I wish I was kidding. Don't believe me? Well, the founder of PETA herself said that pet ownership is an abysmal situation and argued in a 2014 interview that outdoor cats should just be killed. It's better for them. By now, and we're still in the intro of this video, you're probably wondering,
It's super hard to believe, like the people with minds such as this are part of a fucking company that has existed to now. It's so fucking insane.
okay, how the hell does this organization even still exist? And how can it possibly get any
Exactly,
worse?
dude.
Well, recently, PETA decided that killing animals is not enough. They decided to openly tarnish the legacy of a dead animal. And the backlash that they experienced was biblical. You see, Silent Suzuka was a Japanese racehorse with an
Damn, dude. Yo, honestly, rest in peace, Silent Suzuka, man. Rest in peace.
unrivaled legacy. I mean, he was extremely fast and well known globally to anyone who followed horse racing. However, in 1998, his life ended after a tragic injury on the track. What really made Silent Suzuka stand out during that incident, though, is that even though he was in horrendous pain, he didn't flip out.
Nah. Please do not describe it, dude. Cause like, in all honesty, that scene, even though I've watched it like I think like a month or so ago, it's still so fucking fresh in my head, man. It's still so freaking fresh in my head. And yes, like what I do wanna like remember Silent Suzuka is just the last bit of like moment of her, like just in agony like that, dude. It's just it fucking breaks my heart, man. And yeah, like if you guys haven't seen like my reaction to the Silent Suzuka lore, is just, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I was fucking bawling my eyes out on that shit. Cause like it's just fucking heartbreaking, man.
Out. He didn't try to injure his jockey, no.
Nah.
He silently went to the side of the track, dropped off his jockey, and when he was sure that his human rider was safe, proceeded to collapse. Yeah, he was one hell of a horse. Now in 2021, the mobile game Musume Pretty Derby would
Wow,
come out in
man.
Japan. It would be an anime horse girl
And like overall, the I wouldn't say like I wouldn't say like trauma, but like the amount of fucking like crying I did to like, for example, Pretty Derby season 2, bro, that series, that season cooked the fuck out of me, man.
racing game, with every one of these anime girls representing a famous Japanese racehorse.
Mhm.
This game would prove to be extremely successful in Japan, would release
yo, look at Haru over there, dude. Look at little Haru in the back. This is so cute.
globally in 2025 and would make billions of dollars. And one of the horses that was immortalized as an anime horse girl was none other than Silent Suzuka. In fact, Uma Musume would even have an anime, and Silent Suzuka would make an appearance there too. So as you can see, this was a very well beloved and very well respected horse to this day.
So you're telling me these motherfuckers decided at some point in their fucking lifetimes to mess with Uma Musume, one of the most loyal fucking fandoms in the world. Yes, in the world. And directly mess with Silent Suzuka. This is kind of like where the video is kind of like leading me on right now, dude. Cause like I'm calling it, dude. I'm calling it. The amount of shit that they are gonna get into.
What the hell
Oh,
could have
dude.
PETA possibly done to create a worldwide backlash? Did they pay their respects to this wonderful animal that showed incredible compassion to humans in its final moments? Of course not. They instead would post a disgusting image of the anime horse girl version of Silent Suzuka.
Oh, nah. Low-key, I've said this in one of my comments before. I am just kind of like gonna repeat it now. But dude, I feel like human civilization will find the city of Atlantic before they find fucking PETA ever again, dude. Cause this shit, this shit is not fucking it, man.
With a grotesque leg injury where you
Oh
can
nah,
see the
bro.
bone protrude outside of the skin, arguing that if the game was honest, your favorite horse girl wouldn't get any comeback arcs. One failed event and the race
They
is
actually
over, just like
posted
what
this
happened
shit?
to the real Silence Suzuka. Now look, PETA had been fucking around for years and had faced barely any
Oh,
consequences.
nah,
This
dude.
time though, they fucked around and they found out. Because not only
Yo, I could only imagine the amount of fucking backlash. Oh, look at this shit, bro. 16.4 million views. And yes, I could only imagine all this 11,000 comments is just straight up bashing them. I could imagine. Like, brother, I literally just fucking found out about this shit, man.
did this post get viewed
But dang,
16.4 million
16.4
times. Not
million.
only are there 11,000 replies completely shitting on their entire existence, not
Yeah,
only
no
did this
shit.
post get community noted, but it even prompted a Japanese politician to speak out on this disgusting behavior, as well as the owner of Silence Suzuka.
no. Damn, bro. Yeah, these motherfuckers just gotta be fucking stopped at this point, man. Cause like I could only imagine what the actual owner feels right now. Like what the owner feels seeing this shit. Cause like this is just downright fucking disrespectful, man. Like literally, I get you want the fucking attention. Do it in some other fucking way. Like this isn't it, man. This isn't fucking it.
Guys, this was probably one of the worst things PETA could have ever done to their reputation. More and more people are looking into the fact that they're killing more animals than they're saving, with Japanese people in particular finding out the true nature of this company rather than thinking that they actually fight for animal rights. And unlike their usual rage
Yeah,
bait,
dude,
this
like,
time
truly
there were
fucking
many
disgusting.
people that destroyed the hell out of PETA with facts and logic. Actual real arguments that showed that Musume Pretty Derby did a million times more than PETA could ever hope to achieve. It was hilarious seeing this disgusting organization get pummeled to oblivion, and so that's why I thought I had to make a video about this. So you already know the drill. Let's do this. Alright, so look, as I mentioned in the intro, PETA gained prominence, or I should say relevancy, due to its shocking and bold marketing campaigns like this one right here. If dogs tasted like pork, would you eat them?
Dude, okay. First off, nah. I'm not even gonna say it, man.
What's the
I'm not even gonna
difference?
say it.
Go vegan, showing the image of a dog with a pig's head. By PETA's own standards, though, this was definitely soft. You see, one of the first instances of extremely shocking yet somewhat bold marketing campaigns was as far back as 1991. Back then, one of America's most infamous serial killers, Jeffrey Dahmer, was captured. Jeffrey was someone who had captured 17 males and, well, got rid of their limbs. He would then place them in a
Damn.
fridge and eat them later, because guess what? The guy was a cannibal. What would PETA do?
What
Well,
the
they
fuck?
published a newspaper advertisement pretty much likening meat packers to being exactly like Jeffrey Dahmer, someone who killed 17 human beings. Now,
Like how, dude? How do these people survive in society
today,
with
if this happened,
with this
no one
kind
would
of
really
thought
care.
process?
But back then, people cared a lot. This caused unprecedented commotion, and it was exactly what PETA wanted. From their point of view, their mission is to get animal rights messages out to as many people as possible, which is why they try to make their actions colorful and controversial. Colorful is a very interesting word. All in the hopes of grabbing as many headlines around the world and spreading the message of kindness to animals to thousands, sometimes millions of people. They would then gloat that this approach has proved to be amazingly successful, and you know what? To their credit, initially it was.
It does, but like the fucking
they would spread awareness over some
the backlash that you get though is not
faced in different areas, whether it be factories,
not good.
farms, or hell, even government agencies. The outrage following these investigations would help new laws be put in place. Laws that would either help animals get treated better or straight up shut down certain labs or agencies that would mistreat them. However, not all good things last forever, and at some point, PETA would lose the plot entirely. In fact, after my research, I can personally conclude that they had officially lost the
where
plot.
the flying fuck are these guys based at? Because like this to me kind of looks like hold up. Nah, I can't even fucking tell. Yeah, I can't even tell.
By 2003, when they would release their newest marketing campaign, an exhibition titled Holocaust on a Plate. And yes,
bruh,
it is as horrible as it sounds. In fact, here's a sign that you would find at this exhibition. On the left, you would see a Holocaust victim that went through famine, and on the right, you would see a cow that went through famine. I don't think it would take a genius to understand that Jews back then were extremely angered by such a marketing campaign, likening the suffering of so many people in World War II to the idea of eating meat. I mean, come on. And at a certain point, this would just get old. People wouldn't take them as seriously anymore. Around almost a decade later,
bro. Okay, for the sake of it being a meme, this shit, like this picture, this shit kind of looking funny as fuck. Wait, hold up. What does it say? Peta combats dog breeding with Hitler.
In 2014, PETA would release a marketing campaign in which they say that dog breeders are literally the Austrian painter, releasing a poster of a dog with the infamous, well, mustache. And if you thought that wasn't bad enough, on the same year, if you went to PETA's website, you'd be greeted with, got autism? Studies have shown a link between cow's milk and autism. Now, this confused the hell out of people, and it...
Oh my god, dude. Like, how creative they are with these ads or with these fucking like pictures. They are very creative. They're just not smart with it.
It could mean one of two things. The first possibility is them saying that cow's milk causes autism, which is extremely incorrect. There's nothing in any way, shape, or form proving that. And the second possibility is them saying that only autistic people drink cow's milk, which I don't need to sit here and tell you sounds really bad. Pretty much saying that there's something very wrong with autistic people, which isn't the case. They're just people. You see what I meant in the intro? Once you make shocking statements, the only way to keep people's attention is to somehow make a shocking statement more shocking every single time. But with the line between shocking and rage bait being so thin, yeah, it's no surprise.
Guess what this guy has?
Point, people thought PETA was a joke. Their stupid antics were starting to alienate vegans from wanting to support them. That was their target audience. I mean, mid-pandemic in 2020, when people were wrestling with the fact that they had to be isolated for God knows how long, PETA comes out and says, oh, hey, yeah, this happened because of you meat eaters. Tofu never caused the pandemic. Dude, shut the fuck up. Now, yes, this stupid attempt at rage bait is definitely funny. And while I'd love to just sit here and laugh, unfortunately, when it comes to PETA, their existence is actually a problem, especially if you like animals. You see, this organization is nothing more than just a group of extremists. In 2017, 2 PETA employees would kidnap a 9-year-old's chihuahua. They assumed that it was a stray that needed to be euthanized because, of course, they hate the idea of
No, dude. There is no fucking shot. Like these freaking, oh my god, like these people just kind of go around the fucking neighborhood looking for shit to like literally just looking for animals, for example dogs, in which case like if they see them in the wild they just fucking off them like that. dude, that is wild.
A dog for
I
adoption.
know they did kind of say in the early stage of the video, but damn.
However, state laws say that they have to hold the pet for 5 days to make sure there's no owner that, well, will come and claim it.
Yeah,
They
but what if they never fucking notified anybody that they found the dog?
chose to ignore that rule and euthanize this poor chihuahua within the same day. The family ended up suing the organization, and PETA paid them $49,000 to settle. But that poor
Like low-key, $49,000 is not fucking worth it. Either make them go bankrupt or just keep on fucking suing the fuck out of them, man.
girl is probably traumatized for life.
But like, dude, this is a life. This is like, sure, this is a dog's life, dude. But like, what could possess you to go against the laws like that and just make your fucking call?
But I wish that was the worst thing they'd done. In 2005, 2 years after their completely tone-deaf Holocaust marketing campaign, some people would start noticing that the dumpsters behind a supermarket in North Carolina was filled with dead animals, specifically cats and dogs. Well, it turned out it was none other than PETA.
Damn.
The two employees in question would be acquiring these pets by lying to veterinarians, telling them they're going to put them up for adoption, and then just euthanizing them in the same day in the back of their van. The veterinarian who had given these pets to PETA thinking they would get adopted would later say they were in good health and were very adoptable, especially the kittens. It was tragic, and yet PETA was able to get away with this because of a stupid law in the US that says that PETA and other shelters are allowed to kill owner-relinquished animals for virtually any reason at any time without any effort to find them homes. But of course, politicians don't care about actual important matters like this. And finally,
yeah, because no shit, they fucking like, all they care about is fucking lining their own fucking pockets. They don't concern themselves with, well, stuff like this.
Something a bit more recent to truly show you how disgusting PETA is, then look no further. This was a study published in February 4th, 2025, examining the rate of death of animals in PETA shelters in the year of 2024. Now, PETA is established in the state of
Also,
Virginia.
why are they called PETA or PETA shelters? They don't shelter any fucking animals. They don't. They fucking euthanize the fuck out of them. So they shouldn't be called a fucking shelter.
The average rate of euthanasia for all agencies in Virginia is 10%.
Damn. Look at these numbers, bro. Look at these numbers. Look at this motherfucker's numbers. No, I'm not gonna mention this shit. No, But dude, look at this shit, dude.
That means that 90% of their animals find a new home. They successfully get adopted, with 10% being euthanized, which is reasonable. Some cats or dogs they might find on the street might have a very bad disease. They could...
So like around roughly 40%, these motherfuckers just straight up murder them. Or euthanize them. We'll call it whatever you want, but dude,
be on their last
that is
legs,
insane
and giving them
number.
euthanasia is the most humane thing to do. That way they don't squirm in pain for the rest of their lives. PETA, on the other hand, euthanizes 64% of their dogs, 69% of their cats, and 67% of all animals in general that are held in their shelters. Think about this for a second. Only 30% somehow find a new home. The majority find themselves dead. Does that seem like an organization that likes animals to you? I mean, look at this. In 2014, they euthanized 96% of their cats. Very interesting, right?
Nah, we not saying
Seeing
it,
that
bro.
the founder of PETA has already expressed the fact that stray cats shouldn't exist. In other words, they should all be killed. I mean, I just find it so disgusting, but also so fascinating. PETA always likes to ignore the fact that humans and animals are fundamentally different, which is why we shouldn't eat them. Does that mean we should euthanize 69% of children that are currently in shelters waiting to be adopted by a family? I wonder what this failure of an organization would say.
Fair
Wait, I
point.
actually know exactly what they would say. One look at their social media in 2025, and the only thing you'll find is rage bait. That's what they still thrive on. They want views, they want relevancy at any cost, no matter how stupid they might look in the public's eyes. And it's that same exact philosophy that made them fuck around and find out when it came to one of the most loyal communities on the internet. And it resulted in them wiping the floor with PETA's pathetic ass.
As I said in the beginning, dude.
To the game Musume Pretty Derby.
Also, yo, big shout outs to Sai Games. Big shout outs to Musume Pretty Derby. Bro, they got the freaking game of the year for mobile games. That is such a big fucking W, man. So yo, big fucking shout outs to Psy Games. Big shout outs to Musume, man.
Available both on PC and mobile, it pretty much took over the world this year. In fact,
Look at Peta, dude. Oh, that's so cute. This is cuteness.
if you were able to catch the Game Awards recently, then you would have seen that it actually won Best Mobile Game. The same company behind that very successful game that's generated billions of dollars today is also behind its extremely successful anime series. All the horse girls in the anime and the game are actually based off their real-life counterparts. This was only possible to do after getting...
This is one of the hardest things about this, like watching the series. Because like the moment I found out that these girls, these characters actually reflected real life horses, each time I see an injury, I think back on what the horses actually felt. That is where my mind like literally just goes to right after I see any sort of injury. So like for Peta to be talking shit like this, like posting stuff like that, is just it's insanely wild and disrespectful.
From each one of their owners. But that's not all, of course. They weren't just able to make an awesome game, some great anime, and respect the medium. Horse racing has been a dying sport for years now, and they were able to revitalize the entire industry by bringing in such a huge amount of young people that are now interested in it thanks to the game and
definitely,
anime.
Bro.
In fact, the developer, Psy Games, wouldn't just support horse racing directly by sponsoring multiple events.
This is Katsuragi Ace, if I'm not mistaken. This one, she kind of looking nice, I won't lie. But her name, fuck, it's Symboli something, man. Symboli something. I forgot what the other part was, but it's Symboli something.
They would also make it a point to support retired racehorses, making sure that they're not neglected and encouraging fans to donate to them. In fact, ever since Musume Pretty Derby had come out in Japan and then eventually came out globally, the Retired Horse Association of Japan, who takes care of all retired racehorses, has seen a massive surge in donations.
Yo, I could only imagine the amount of like donation that flooded the Japan like I guess like horse kind of like community. I could only imagine the amount of donations that they got. Because as soon as the game globalized and like more people in the West or where I am right now are like finding out more and more about like Musume Pretty Derby or Cinderella Grey, you best believe we fucking donated to to the horses, dude. You best believe. Yeah, especially baby girl Harurara, which by the way, rest in peace. Yeah, man. Harurara, rest in peace. A lot, and I mean a lot of people have donated to her, bro. And like what she couldn't eat, I believe they did kind of like give out to other horses or other stablemates of hers. So super freaking happy about that, man.
Nations. I mean, look at this. They had created a fundraiser back in October to create a memorial for multiple retired horses that have passed away recently, and they were able to raise 6.3 million yen out of their 10 million yen goal. Before Musume, people didn't really care that much about retired horses. Now they do. Isn't that awesome? Now, with all this info in mind, and this is me barely scraping the surface, by the way, how much worse does this post from Peta actually sound now? Going after a developer and a game that has done more for horses than they could ever even conceive.
Exactly,
I mean, what a desperate cry for attention. The replies would, of course, immediately point this out, like this one that ratioed the original post by like 5 times, saying,
"Hold up, Musume does more." Yep, exactly, dude. Exactly.
Musume does more to the welfare of the horses it honors than misleading and self-serving posts like this do better or be quiet. I mean, not a single one of these 11,000 replies were positive. They were just shitting on Peta's entire existence. The audacity for an organization that euthanizes 70% of its animals to talk about euthanasia is wild. Just so you know, this was a severe leg injury that Silent Suzuka experienced on the racetrack.
Yeah, man.
Once that happens to a horse, they are guaranteed to die a slow and painful death. Euthanasia here was actually, unlike Peta's shelters, humane. But they've lost the plot since 2003. Reasoning with them is pointless. But people decided to quote tweet them anyway because why not? They're clowns, they deserve it. This person would say the irony is that Uma Musume itself is responsible for the increase of the Retired Horse Racing Association's donations in care for the animals. Just this year, between Versailles Farm, Northern Farm, and Nice Nature, which are 3 different horses, they raised over $1 million combined, spread purely by the fans' love of the horses.
Dude, that is
Here we can
USD.
see a chart of Nice Nature's birthday donation trends, and as you can see, there is a massive uptick in donations after Uma Musume Pretty Derby.
I bet if this is updated to now, this would be double. I feel like this would be double.
Had come out. I mean, it would go from 1,700,000 yen to 35 million after the game had come out. That's a multiplication of almost 35 times, and it kept rising.
And yeah, dude, like this all goes to horses, dude. All of this goes to horses.
Higher, reaching 74 million in 2024. But yeah, let's make a disgusting drawing instead, criticizing the game instead of helping. I mean, Peta has no idea just how much Japanese people in general, including the voice actress of Silent Suzuka herself.
Also, another big fucking shout out, man. Like, I have recently been watching Renu. Like, his fucking videos are super fucking funny, so I just kind of vibe and kind of like check him out. So big shout outs to bro, man.
Hold respect for these horses.
Hold up, let him.
In an interview, she was literally crying over Silent Suzuka's memory, wondering if she could properly convey the spirit of this legendary horse. Do PETA employees cry when they euthanize 70%?
Like, in all of Japan, like, the people that work on this, the people that work on on Uma Musume, showcasing the career, the legacy of the horses, they show that they really fucking care about it, man. They show it. And like the amount of work that they put into it, it's just astronomical, dude.
Of their animals for no reason? That's a rhetorical question. And then of course comes the very embarrassing community note that came in different languages. This is the Japanese one. It would say, "This is hate speech." Might be a bit of a rough translation. Anyway, although the game Uma Musume Pretty Derby is in no way opposed to PETA's philosophy of establishing and defending animal rights, this post provokes those involved with the game. Reference about PETA. So that link is meant to show you that PETA's philosophy is to stand against...
Yo, Loki, this would be such a great time for the Yakuza, right? For the Yakuza to come in, dude. This would be such a great time for them to come in.
Anyone opposed to animal rights. Cool. Then it goes on to say, this post violates the guidelines of Uma Musume Pretty Derby by denigrating the honor and rights of others, making it an antisocial post that does not follow the rules, like guidelines for derivative works of Uma Musume Pretty Derby. So here we get linked to the website of Uma Musume, outlining their terms of service for fan works. In a nutshell, you can create fan art, you can create fan merch, you can do all those things, but they cannot be political, they cannot be sexual, and they sure as hell cannot be gory or disturbing. That's exactly what PETA was doing. And finally, the community note.
So in this case, would Cygames be able to kind of like sue PETA or whatever the fuck over this whole thing? Because like I feel like if they do, like a good majority of what comes of it can go back to the horses, can go back to the retired horses. I feel like that would be the best case for everybody. There's no fucking shot PETA is winning that shit. None. Not at all, dude. So like if Cygames does actually go that route, the amount of people that would be supporting them, it's gonna be insane. And yes, I would be one of the people that supports Cygames on this shit. So I am hoping that they do kind of sue PETA.
Would say provocative posts intended to attract attention also have an aspect of spam and therefore violate X's terms of service. This also would be echoed by the community note in English saying Cygames guidelines strictly prohibit violent or grotesque depictions of Uma Musume characters to respect the real horses. Using the IP for political advocacy or commercial gain is a direct violation of their derivative work guidelines. So seeing this, Twitter was over...
Yo, oh, this is it. This is what I want to happen, dude. And yo, them showing a gold ship. Like, brother, this is all I want, dude. This is what I want to happen. Yo, could you imagine? Could you imagine? Uh, Like the real life gold ship going to Peta's headquarters, and yes, there will be bodyguards. Obviously, this is what I'm kind of like envisioning in my head that I kind of want to happen. Imagine the real gold ship having this box of lawsuit in his mouth delivering to Peta's fucking headquarters. That would be it, dude. That would be the funniest shit.
Overjoyed, begging Cygames to sue the ever-living shit out of PETA, saying that there's approximately 5 different violations of Musume community guidelines and actual grounds for a hefty lawsuit. I think it was safe to say at this point that no one was siding with PETA. But we're not just talking about the English-speaking audience here. This travesty had reached Japan, and the damage to their image there became catastrophic. A Japanese politician by the name of Kurishita Zenko, who used to be a part of the Japanese Metropolitan Assembly, would catch wind of this, and he would have something to say. It would be in Japanese, so here's the translation.
Okay.
He'd say, PETA, the world's largest animal rights organization, has suddenly made the following post using illustrations from Musume, sparking controversy. It already has a community note attached, stating it violates content guidelines, but we must recognize that just because it's a massive international organization doesn't necessarily mean it's fair, in reference to following the rules. He'd then reply to his own post, continuing, saying, PETA's incoherent accusations against Nintendo are still fresh in our memory. It almost feels like they're targeting Japanese content. Surely there are other things they should be doing.
Okay, now that, yes, that I could kind of see.
To protect animals. He would continue further, referencing the article about the pet chihuahua we just saw earlier, saying, thank you for the information. I couldn't believe my eyes. Not many people.
Like, dude, could you guys imagine? This is a family suing PETA for $49,000. Imagine Cygames. The amount of damage that they could do to PETA, I would be all for it, dude. I would be all for it. Because the amount of shit that they have been doing, from what I've found out through this video, is just wild, bro.
People in Japan know what kind of organization PETA is, so we should take this opportunity to spread the word. See how much damage this did? Look, this philosophy of bad publicity is always good publicity? No. Japan was under the impression that PETA actually stood for animal rights. Now they're finding out what kind of organization they truly are. In other words, they fucked around and they found out. But
they found out quickly, dude. They found out quickly.
That's because out of nowhere, the owner of the late Silent Suzuka would say, in a quote tweet, straight up,
yo, oh, dude, I love this. I love this in all its glory. Go to hell, you shitty organization. Which, yes, rightfully so.
Go to hell, you shitty organization. This would get 3 million views, 75,000 likes. I mean, straight up full support for this guy. And he's totally right. Someone would reply to the owner's post saying, I remember Suzuka's fracture being a comminuted fracture where the broken bones didn't protrude out, not an open fracture like in that organization's picture where the bone is visible from the outside. But was I wrong? The owner would say, that's right. In other words, PETA was straight up lying. That's not how the fracture looked. Am I surprised? No. Someone else would reply with, is this the group that was saying about Mario Kart's cow putting a nose ring on it as a symbol of livestock? This was in reference to what the politician had said earlier, that they had tried to go after Nintendo for this Mario Kart character. Like, how ridiculous is this? Their marketing campaign said, let cow race free, remove her nose ring. Like, surely there must be more important things to do. A few days later, the owner of the late Silent Suzuka would quote tweet the tweet we just saw where he called PETA.
Wow, dude. Like, honestly, I honestly just cannot even imagine what is going through the owner's what is going through the owner's brain right now because of that tweet, man. Because like the way I'm seeing it, and everybody is seeing it, that shit is just downright disrespectful, and that is us seeing it. I can only imagine what the actual owner is thinking right now, dude.
A shitty organization and say, the resentful voices from all over the world against that shitty organization group are intense. Seriously, what the hell did they do to get hated this much? Lol. Well, the Japanese people are slowly finding out, aren't they? In fact, my favorite tweet in all this, okay,
Yeah,
was
but
this
I
guy
mean,
going back
it
to
is
that
kind of still
docked
funny
AI
though.
generated image of a fish being turned into sushi, quote tweeting it and saying, "It's honestly hilarious how the obese fast food nation that's all about burgers is
Oh, okay. Yeah. Nah, I'm not even gonna say nah.
nitpicking Japanese sushi." PETA wasn't just ruining their reputation worldwide, they were also ruining the American reputation worldwide. Not that it was very good to begin with, but still, it's not like they need more negative shit. Overall, this whole thing was an absolute
Yes.
mess.
This is peak. This is what we need, bro. This is what we need. Yo, could you imagine? This is Peta right here. This is Psy Games. This is the fandom.
And it only served to make it known that PETA is terrible. Now everyone is starting to get aware of this. This was one of the worst decisions the social media team of PETA could have taken. And now people are simply begging Cygames to sue the ever-living shit out of them.
I am
usually try to stay
really,
neutral
really
in my
hoping
videos,
so,
but
dude.
even I'm hoping that happens, okay? I truly want to see that. That would be so cool. Anyway, thank you so much for watching until
Ooh,
the end.
nice.
If you're interested in the entire history of Musume Pretty Derby and how it came to be, as well as how it helped to revitalize the entire horse racing industry, then make sure to check out the video I made about it a few months ago called The Chaotic History of the Horse Game That Took.
Yeah, man. Honestly, big fucking W to Mugen for making this known. That not that it already has not been known, but yeah, big thanks to Mugen for making this video about PETA or whatever the fuck their name is. And yeah, man, like just overall, how do these people kind of function, dude? Like making these types of posts to kind of like gain traction, gain views. It's so stupid, dude. Because at the end of the day, you and your company is the one at stakes. And yes, at this time I believe they're fucking finding out through real fucking fans that kind of like messing with something people love, something people cherish, is just not a good fucking thing to do, man. But yeah, that is gonna be it for this video. Overall, fuck PETA. I do hope that the Yakuza kind of get them. But yeah, man, overall, fuck them. This is gonna be it for the video. If you guys did enjoy my reaction to this, comment, like, and subscribe. Also, go check out Mugen's channel. Amazing videos out there and content. And yeah, go subscribe to him as well. And that is gonna be it. I will see you guys on the next video.